Good afternoon. If there's anyone here, just going to get the video up, make sure it can be seen. So we're live now. No, I don't want to view there, so excuse me for a sec. Just want to get the video up. So it's already been a good day. So let's see what we can see. So as ever, if you could sign in and say hello. So that's Trevor and Jamie. That's excellent. Jamie can hear me. Brilliant stuff. I'm just going to mute that so I don't get any echo. The sound's okay for you, Jamie and Trevor, and you can see the screen's okay. If not, please let me know. Just got a tickle in the throat. So already we've had a good session. Quite unbelievable. Hear me but quiet. Thanks very much, Paul. Okay, let's turn up the volume. Is that any better for you? I think it's because I'm above the microphone. The mic. Much better. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaz. Appreciate that. Hi, Bosun. Hi, everybody else. Thank you very much, Ashley, for confirming all of that. Just going to get Football 24 back up and running. So we've already had a good session. Isn't it amazing? My new trading strategy. Go for a cup of tea. Come back. 2 goals to make it 2-2. And then we get a goal from Palmer before half time. So all very nice. So let's see what we've got in store right now. FA Cup was excellent. Wolves and Coventry. I couldn't have called that one. I tend to not play cup matches. Mallorca I thought scored, but it looks as if that goal must have been disallowed quite a while ago. But I didn't get a confirmation from Football 24 that it was disallowed. Torino have taken the lead against Udinese, who will be dying to end that draw. Yeah, the Mallorca goal in the 52nd minute was disallowed. As I suggested, this is going to be a tough relegation 6-pointer between these two sides. So, with a relegation 6-pointer, you're going to lay the late draw, lay as late as possible. Hi, Kevin. Nice to see you all here. So let's get cracking. Sud Tirol, I think we can get rid of that one. Palmer got the goal before half time. That's what we were after. Really strong in-play stats. Top of the league. That's what caught my attention. As you can see in In-Play Guru, we've got league positions. This is a relegation 6-pointer, so we'll be laying that late draw as late as possible, because 3 points is a lot better than 1, isn't it? So get rid of Palmer. Malmo, it is the cup match. So as with the Wolves match, anything can happen, but Malmo in the cup last week were very impressive, coming from behind, get a comfortable win. They're 1.8 today, which suggests they're playing a fellow Allsvenskan side without checking. That's what I would guess. 3 wins in the last 4, but these have all been cup matches or pre-season friendlies. The Allsvenskan is yet to get going, but it is one of our summer leagues. So well worth following the Allsvenskan, the Norwegian Elite Serie and Finnish Vikasliga, Irish Premier Division, Irish First Division. Very, very busy summer period, as well as the tennis. And what I'll do, because we're going to have a quiet couple of weeks now with the international break, particularly this week. It doesn't get going really till Thursday. So I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to do a video or an article each day just on our fundamentals, just to remind you of the basics. Repetition is the mother of skill. So we'll be looking at various elements, such as how to research a league match, how to research a cup match, that kind of thing, just to keep football trading profits ticking over during what is going to be a quiet period. As you can see, Torino are dominant against Udinese. They're a very tough team to take on, Torino, when they've led, because they have a very good defensive record, and you can see today Udinese have not landed a blow yet. So I'll just check the YouTube's going okay. Good stuff. So I'm not too keen on doing anything there. Monza and Cagliari. Cagliari need the points more, but like a lot of teams, there's quite a lot of them, like FC Köln, Darmstadt, very few wins this season. Mainz and Bochum is the battle of the can't score a second goal teams. We know Mainz are on a run of 15 now without scoring that second goal. Bochum, I think it's 7 of the last 10. They've failed to score that second goal. But head-to-heads was 2-2. Don't forget, this is a relegation 6-pointer-ish. So I would be taking on any late draw here, and I could see these two conjure up a second goal, but we will see. Heidenheim and Mönchengladbach is very tough to call. Heidenheim cannot be discounted, despite 3 defeats in 4 matches. They are a pretty solid side. Union Berlin, the usual rules apply. When your favourite and your Union Berlin and the market's spoken tend to perform. So let's just get up the research, have that ready, and don't forget footballtradingprofits.club is no more. It has ceased to be. It is a dead parrot. Too costly, and you guys and girls really weren't using it to its full potential at all. Costing me, I work very hard for this, and I was just throwing money away. So I'd rather see a return for my funds. So as you can see, it's a tough old coupon today. Where was I looking at? Monza and Cagliari, no. Union Berlin, Werder Bremen. Yeah, as I say, didn't do much research for this one. My basic rule with Union Berlin, when the market speaks, they don't tend to lose. So we'll be welcoming a Werder Bremen lead and test that theory for yet another home match, where Union Berlin have been pretty good when favourite at home. Augsburg on a run of 3 consecutive wins in a 2.3 the favourite match against draw specialists, the Wolf. Bayern Munich pre-international break. Bayern Munich's going to be one of those sides that could be affected pre-international break, with all these international players not wanting to get injured. It's just psychologically, you know, subconsciously, don't want to get into those heavy tackles, really want to play for my country, so I'm going to just hold back a bit. But 1.13, it tells you everything you need to know. And the Wolf have scored first against Augsburg. That's going to test their score-draw-itis. We'll see if that's confirmed or not. And Mönchengladbach have scored first against Heidenheim. It's a watching brief on that one, I'm afraid. We can get rid of the Hungarian football, and the Faroe Islands League is just beginning. We'll keep the Portuguese Segunda League, but we've got... no, let's not. We can pick and choose today. We've got a really good candidates in the Championship League 1, League 2, of course, which are much more familiar than Portuguese League 2. So working our way down, Rijeka, Evans favourite, 10 to oblige, the top of the league. Normally it's Hajduk Split and Dinamo Zagreb. So having an excellent season, Rijeka. Get rid of Südtirol. Brescia, Catanzaro. Oh, got plenty of dings coming into the old phone. It's all my admirers. So we can get rid of Parma. You could have laid the draw, I suppose. Second half, Ferral Pesaro equaliser. But I was happy with the profit from the half-time market. And we did that twice today, didn't we? With some success. St. Pauli and Parma both scoring before half-time. Brilliant. St. Pauli getting their usual 2 goals as ever. So I think we can get rid of some of these. And that's the Brescia goal against Catanzaro. So we're just kicking off. Let's keep working our way down the matches and wait for things to unpack. So it's mostly Italian Serie B goals coming in at the moment. But as I say, Mallorca Granada, just get that match up and ready, because it is a must win. You've got to take points off your near relegation rival. It's quite simple. That's the strategy we use this stage of the season, and that's what I'm going to do during this winter break. Not winter break, international break. We will be looking at various topics, one of which will be how to tackle the last day of the season. And I think those of you who were with me for the Norwegian Elite Serien, the most recent league ending would have been delighted with how that unfolded at the end of the season. So I'll point all that out to you. We're getting to the stage. I'm going to start with my usual drip laying. Now, you don't have to. You can start at 1.41 if you want, okay? It's up to you completely. I did go on a run of about 4 or 5 in a row where I called it right, called the end of the draw right, but I waited too long and the goal came before it reached 1.25. So you have been warned. I just like 1.25 because if you use it this way, your maximum liability is going to be about 1 to 10 risk reward ratio, which is excellent. There we go. This is a perfect example to you of why perhaps you should get involved a little bit earlier.
This market has been suspended.
There's a Mallorca goal. So right in front of your eyes, 1.37. Why did I neglect 1.37, eh? I'm an idiot, that's why. So that's, and yet another example to you. Perhaps over delaying to 1.25 is costing me money, but it's ensuring liabilities kept low. But if you're happy with the slight increase in liability getting in earlier at higher odds,
Mallorca
then by all means
Granada
do
is
as you've
1 to
just seen
0.
here. Going at 1.37,
Monza
backing off at
Cagliari is 1 to
9.8.
0.
That's what I call a later back trade. Pretty good stuff. So I really hope you got involved, or those of you quick enough. So we can get rid of that now because Granada have a woeful record. My old pals Mallorca. I was there during COVID. Wonderful island. Malmo looking good, but it is a cup match. You just see the mayhem in Wolves and Coventry's match. That was quite something.
Monza Cagliari is 1 to 0.
I don't have a strong opinion here, but we've got an odds-on favourite already scoring first. So I'll just take that one off the watch list. Auxerre and Sen looks like a 1-1 draw here. 1.73 favourite have equalised, so I did miss that one, I'm afraid. Apologies for that. French Ligue 2. But it should be here. And I'm not hearing these coming in, I'm afraid. These odds-ons. So let's hope that I can hear them now. It's important that we know odds-on favourite goals, because then we can investigate and see if there's a trading angle. Monza against Cagliari, well, this is absolutely no surprise at all, is it? If you read the research, you'll know that Cagliari are pants. Only 1 loss in 7 for Monza, so they're pretty solid. They're unbeaten home against 11th and lower. It was 1-1 in the last head-to-head. They've not conceded that second goal at home against 11th and lower either, Monza, so we could have really done as traders with Cagliari scoring first there. Then we could have applied an insurance trade to that one in the expectation of Monza not conceding that second goal. Let's get rid of some of these others and just pay a quick visit to how things are progressing 14 minutes in to the German Bundesliga. But it's very quiet. Union Berlin and Werder Bremen. Mönchengladbach have the lead against Heidenheim. It's a watching brief. Certainly if Heidenheim show the in-play stats, they are capable of getting an equaliser, but it has to be a watching brief. I suppose in hindsight, Mainz and Bochum could have been a back the 0-0 pre-match, given these two are sorely lacking that second goal on a consistent basis. The Wolf look pretty solid, don't they? I think this was the website. So that's the correction. So now you can hear in the background those sounds coming from soccer24.com telling me when there's been a goal in an odds-on favourites match. That's just another way to create trading angles, isn't it? Darmstadt and Bayern Munich, well, do you trust the 20-minute rule with Bayern? They have been not the usual sparkly Bayern, that's for sure. Just going to get some talc, a bit itchy. Living in the tropics, it can get very hot. And I'll be going off on a road trip next week because we're going to be very, very quiet football-wise, so it'll be a nice opportunity for me to go down south, see a little bit of Thailand. It would be wonderful on the old motorbike. Just got new tyres on it today, so looking forward to that. Wolfsburg, as you can see, dominating Augsburg at the moment, so there won't be any laying of the Wolf lead, despite their love of score draws. I got to the Bayern Munich match. We're 5 minutes away from the 20-minute rule. The 20-minute rule assumes, with such a short price favourite, that they're going to score before half-time. They're going to be winning 0-3, 1-3, any other away score. That's the assumption we make. So wait for the 20 minutes there, and I'll show you, maybe in simulation mode, if I'm not confident in Bayern Munich, because they have been really stuttery of late. Bayern 0-0 against Darmstadt at half-time last time, and then that turned into 8-0 thanks to a red card. But they have had goals before half-time, Darmstadt. Let's see whether Bochum, whether Bayern Munich have had goals before half-time. Well, 3-1 against Mainz, 2-0 against Lazio, and a 1-1 against Freiburg. So they have been scoring before half-time, so we're on the cusp of the 20-minute rule there. So I have the Bayern Munich match up and ready. And as you can see, the Wolf, really dominant force today. And we're just getting all of the 3 PMs popping into the in-play guru menu. Right, Jagiellonian of Bialystok. First in the league, as I say at this stage of the season, pay attention to league position. This has got a touch of the old relegation 6-pointer about it, and I would lay any late draw in this one, as I would in that Mallorca match, given they desperately need points. Simple as that. I'll just check. Yeah, all going well. Do let me know immediately if there are any problems with the YouTube, just in the chat, and I'll try to just visit the chat intermittently and make sure that there's no problems in your seeing or hearing me. So let's work our way down. We can get rid of Brescia Catanzaro, although if you fancied it, 81st and 82nd minute shots on target, 89th minute now, we're not really consistent bang 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 shots on target. But if you wanted to lay the draw, I wouldn't put you off. Don't forget Italian Serie B, we've got the promotion spots, or is it automatic promotion? I'm not sure. Let's have a look at Italian Serie B. We need to know our places. The best way to do that, of course, Soccer 24. So let's go and have a look. This is the part of the season where you can take on these draws. Live standings is what I'm on about. Brescia Catanzaro. So let's have a look at where these two are in relation to each other. I think they're in the playoff places. There's quite a generous set of playoff places, the top 8. Wow. So Catanzaro and where are Brescia? So these two are happily together. The onus really should be on Brescia to get the win. There's a big 10-point gap. Catanzaro will be feeling confident about nailing their automatic promotion berth, but Brescia have Pisa, Sampdoria, Cittadella, Reggiana, Modena, all waiting in the background to take their place. So as you can see, 3 points, particularly for Brescia, would be vitally important. Take them into the all-important 40-plus point gap. All these whistles you're hearing, it's because I've got it on live rather than my games. The whistles you hear is the end of the match at Soccer 24. So where did we get to there? So there's possibility if you wanted to lay the draw there. Okay, Brescia and Catanzaro, with the expectation that these two would want the win, particularly Brescia. And Mallorca really becoming a dominant force now against their opponents, and I keep getting chucked down, so we can get rid of that now. Hopefully you laid the draw there. Pisa, Como, Perry, we can get rid of him. Ternana and Cosenza, we can get rid of that. and Burgos Levante. Again, this is 6th against 11th. Just check out the Spanish Segunda, and this is something you have to get used to doing at this stage of the season. Spain. Spain. Let's have a look. Here it is, Burgos Levante. Just check the live standings. Where are these two in relation to each other? And is there a desperate need for points? So let's have a look. Burgos 5th. Again, the onus would be more on Levante to add 2 points to this tally, take them up to 46 and within a hair's breadth of Burgos. And of course that will take a point off Burgos, because this is what the scoreline is. This is what the points tally is with the current scoreline. So that looks a good one to target the draw, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look. Burgos and Levante. And again, I've got to head back to this, otherwise we'll be hearing these whistles all day. So let's have a look at Burgos. Well done to Mallorca. Important 3 points for them. Granada, that could see them in a spot of bother. So it's cost you tuppence halfpenny to find out. And I've seen goals come in 1.03 to 101 in the past. And well, that I suspect is the end of the match, and that saved us a whopping £2.13 there. But you get the idea. It's not going to cost you much. Keep your liability low. These sides can conjure up goals. You just saw the likes of Coventry. I know it's not a relegation or a playoff place match, but this is the kind of thing. We're entering 20-minute rule territory for Bayern Munich, but they have not been the Bayern Munich of old. But you can see that 97 attacking pressure index. So we can have a look at the Darmstadt match. We've had 2 profitable results already today before half time, and it's a very specialist market. You can create some really good value there. So I'd normally entertain the half-time score market here, and then I would do Dutching, variable profit Dutching. And the only way to really do that is to have this specialist software. Otherwise, you have to get Carol Vorderman on the phone, or I'd prefer Rachel Riley myself, but that's a whole nother live stream, that one, to help you out with the maths. So 0-1, 0-2, any unquoted. Why are we doing to nil? It's because Bayern Munich were 1.14 favourite, and that's what the market expects, a one-way traffic. They start loading up at 18.5. That way liability is low, but profits are pretty sound. This is not the usual size of the odds you'd expect. That does suggest it's becoming a little illiquid, but 6.4 for 0-2, I suppose, with 25 minutes to go for a 1.14 shot is reasonable enough. Don't forget, you've got 2 options here. You can use the first half goals markets as well. That is the equivalent of any unquoted, and the great advantage here is these are neutral, so both teams are working for you. This is the equivalent of 2-0, and this is the equivalent of 1-0. So as you can see, we're up to a tenner already, and they've got the 0-1. Very short odds, but normally we'd expect 3 or higher. See, this is getting a little bit too... Well, let's get the break even on the 0-1. Let's see how we get on with that. So that's reasonable enough. But there's a variety of other options, by the way. You can choose a stake, and then you can have the exact same profit on every single one that you choose, which is very nice indeed, isn't it? You can have a required profit. Do you have a specific target? Or you could do a contrarian variable profit and load profit on the most obvious next scoreline, and then graduate downwards. I prefer the other route, where I want to be rewarded if they really go to town, as a 1.14 shot should. Now there's another option here. You can delay. The more you delay, the bigger the odds for the 0-1, 0-2 and any unquoted, and the lower your liability. Okay, so 20-minute is just something I came up with because if you think about it, you've got 25 minutes left in the match, which is the vast proportion of the half, for them still to get just a goal. So we saw them 97 attacking pressure index. It's rather like what I saw with Parma and St. Pauli earlier on. So it's a good sign. I just hope Bayern Munich are up for it today. It's pre-international football. Just the one shot on target, as you can see there. Darmstadt, desperate need for points as well. So watch out for a potential over-performance from these relegation-threatened sides. And that's something we're going to be focusing on when we get to our 3 o'clocks, particularly the English Championship, English League 1 and English League 2. So we just go, as I say, do delay. Just that one shot on target for Bayern, playing against a relegation-threatened side who might be packing that defence. Halmstad and Malmo, it's 0-0 at half-time. It's not a match I would readily get involved in just yet. No shots on target for Malmo. Probably playing an Allsvenskan side. Yeah, looks as if they are, yeah. These two were involved in the Allsvenskan in 2023. And Malmo got the 2 wins to 0. But this is the cup. I would expect Swedish sides to take the cup seriously because they haven't played any competitive league football apart from friendlies. Auxerre and Sen, well, Auxerre are top of the league, and I thought that was already a 1-1. Just going to work my way down. Football 24, see whether that goal was disallowed. Because I thought it was a 1-1. Indeed, the Auxerre goal has been disallowed. If you look at the stats, 24 dangerous attacks to 8. This is important as well. Top of the league. Pre-match odds 1.73. So that looks like a possible play, particularly. And whoa! Guess who scored first? It's Darmstadt. Now this is going to be interesting. We might not get a trade here because it'd be the odds for Bayern will still be far too short. And this is all going to be dead and buried, I'm afraid. This is beyond what we expect. Disgraceful from Bayern Munich. But now Darmstadt have something to aim for. If we look at the live standings, you'll see how important this goal for Darmstadt is if they can hold on to it. Don't forget, this is the time to take on Bayern Munich. Pre-international break. Now, I think Darmstadt's only realistic method of survival is to aim for FC Köln's relegation playoff place, where they get a chance in a playoff with a Bundesliga 2 side to at least stay up. I don't think it's realistically they'll catch up with Bochum, Union Berlin et al. It's a 10-point gap. That's 3 wins and a draw in a row, with all this lot not winning in a row. So Darmstadt, it'll be vital, and as you can see, they're still on 16 points, leading. That's how poor their season is. Bayern Munich having a relatively poor season for themselves. They're 10 points shy of Bayer Leverkusen, the unstoppable Bayer Leverkusen. We've got Stuttgart yet to play, and Bayer Leverkusen yet to play as well. So vital. Bayern Munich, if they get a win, they'll break the 60-point barrier, and psychologically they'll be in the same group points-wise as Bayer Leverkusen. It looks an obvious play, but I suspect we'll find value to be very hard to come by here. You might just want to take it on the chin and or, as I've said in the past, delay. If you delay, you get better odds. So let's bring up the Bayern Munich match. We've got it here already. That's the match odds. Okay. It's dead in the water. Absolutely no point. How else are we going to play? I don't know. if you back the draw 5.3, will the draw odds drop? What were the draw odds pre-match? As you can see, we're trying desperately to eke out some value out of this. We might have to just draw odds were 10s pre-match. So from a value perspective, you could lay that draw, and if Bayern Munich score the next goal, the draw odds should revert to what they were pre-match, and you'll get a lay at 5.5, back off at 10.5. And the other options, well, I did allude to it earlier on, 0-3, 1-3, any other away score, but we've only got the 1-3 left and any other away left. Where's the value? The only value here is in delaying, isn't it? So sometimes you just have to take it. Oh, we've got the half-time market, of course, so we can have a look there. So let's do that. That could be the value. Now, this was what I was alluding to about the neutral play. The neutral play. You'd have got it really nicely, wouldn't you, with that Darmstadt goal? That would have brought the equivalent of the 1-0 in. Then you got the possibility of this being ignited now. So what I could do here, look at the 1-1, 1-2. We've still got any unquoted at 44s as well, which is a lot higher. So up to you. But as you can see, there's very little value. The only value we can make out of this is to delay. Just say to ourselves, it's that's it. Unless you fancy the 1-3 any other away score, and those are still very poor odds themselves. But that's gone, any unquoted, gone to 26. It was 47 a minute ago. So this is taking the proverbials again. This is a problem with an illiquid market, which is only less than 7 grand matched. So I wouldn't be fancying that at 27. So you'd have to have a look really. First off, 2.5, but this is neutral, so it's going to be a lot shorter. So as you can see, why bother trading this match if we can't find value? Delay. So that's what I'll do here. I'll come back to it later on. We could do both teams to score now. Indeed. Ashley, Bayern 1-0 down. So I'll be waiting, I think. That will be my plan. Let's see. Don't forget, Darmstadt, desperate need for points, could really frustrate this pre-international break Bayern Munich side. Chock full of international players who daren't get injured. They want another cap for their country. So that could work in our favour to just see if we can eke out a little bit of value. If we can get to 1-0 at half time, that would be absolutely brilliant. So let's have a look. French Ligue 2, second half beginning. I think I'll need to have a look at the research first, but the fact that top of the league has had a goal disallowed for me is a real positive sign. But let's just do our due diligence. French Ligue 2 is available here. Don't forget, use Microsoft Edge to get rid of all these damn adverts. Absolute pain in the old bleep. Auxerre and Seine. Let's have a look. So you go down to view stats and matches for both teams. And as you can see, we don't have any of these pop-up boxes. We don't have any adverts. So Microsoft Edge. I hope Bill Gates is going to send me some royalties for telling you to use this. So look at Auxerre. Their only defeat since the 11th of November, 1-0. What's the current scoreline? 1-0. They've got a touch of the old Mainz's about them though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 8 matches they failed to score that second goal. And if you look at this one, their second goal scored, Auxerre, was a penalty. This one, fair enough, 2 goals. So they might have a trouble with that second goal, but they don't tend to concede that second goal. And that's probably it. That's apart from Pau FC. That's the only time second goal scored, conceded since the 5th of December. So building up a good case. And there's a Bayern Munich goal already. So did you play? Did you get involved in the half-time markets? As I say, 1-1, 1-2, any other away score. And any unquoted at 27th now is looking rather tasty, isn't it? With 9 minutes to go. So up to you how you play this, if you play it. My interpretation of value might be different than yours. You might see 5.8 for the 3-1, and any other away win was about 3.7, was it? 3.8. You might see that as value, given it's so early in the match and one goal has already been scored, which has to give Bayern a push-up to get that. Sen scored 2 goals in 3 of the last 5 matches, but context, let's check this out. No defeat in 8 at home for Auxerre as well. That could be a feather in our bow for taking on this Sen lead. And if you look at Sen's results against the top 8 away from home, it's 100% defeats. 1-1 last head-to-head, that's perfect, that's what we want to see. Auxerre's 2 defeats at home have only been 0-1. That's what we want to see as well, because we can use insurance. So on paper, this looks like we can take on this Sen side. So let's have a look. It's very rare I get involved in this French Ligue 2, but it's a compelling enough argument on paper. So let's have a look. Laying over 1.5 goals has to be done because Auxerre have lost 2 home matches by 1-0 or 0-1. This covers the 0-1. Lay over 1.5 goals with the amount of money you want to use. Now I'll do an in-depth video on this for you as part of the series during the winter, not the winter break, the international break. Okay, so if this still hasn't clicked with you yet, then have a look for that article / video. Now we've got 2 options. I like Auxerre +1, but 1.26 is relatively high. We need to see a decent gap. 2s, well, 1.26 to 1.78. That's only a 1.5 gap, isn't it? Are you happy with that? If you are, and you put your 40 quid there, but as you can see, there's not much on the backside. So it's very skinny in this market. Nothing has been matched at all. So we might have to default to the match odds, which I don't want to do. I do like, I do prefer +1s. So we half our stakes now, £20 to back, £20 as fixed liability, not back as stake. Okay, so we're going to be backing Auxerre, a quite reasonable 4.1 for league leaders. Yeah, that's come a little bit too late for Dr. Stephen. He must have been out at Epstein Island again over the weekend or on Friday. He's a little bit slow tonight, Dr. Stephen. So we can lay Sen half stake as liability. Half stake as liability. What you'll see then is that £40 we've got covered by insurance appears here. Now if you're happy to take, the problem with this is the late draw. If Auxerre get a very, very late 1-1, you profit 100% in the +1 market, but you make a £10 loss here and you make a likely £4.85 loss, so £15 loss in total. If you're happy to take that in the hope of a £75 profit for Auxerre, then by all means get stuck in. Right, we've got a load of goals coming in, and Mansfield I would have expected to be odds-on favourite. Why aren't these coming up? So that's it came up a second ago. So let me. I don't understand why. And there's a goal from Malmo, but I didn't play that one. Cup match. I thought Mansfield would be favourite, but obviously they're not. We can check out Wrexham and Tranmere. Who's the odds-on favourite here? Let's have a look. Well, we've got a possible play here. 1.62 Wrexham in English League 2 are a goal down. So we've got to remember Wrexham, English League 2, and AFC Wimbledon, English League 2. Wimbledon and Wrexham, all the W's. So let's make sure we've got this on a watch list now. Wrexham and Rotherham. Where's all the English football gone? Here we go. English League 2. WW Wrexham. So what I tend to do is just give these sides an opportunity. Who was the other side? Was it Wimbledon? Wrexham and... was it Wickham? I can't remember. I've got the brain power of Joe Biden at the moment. AFC Wimbledon. Okay, that's what caught me out. AFC Wimbledon. But that hasn't turned up yet. That's why. That's what caught me out. That goal hasn't been discounted. So we've got two watching brief ones here. I have to watch, really. And I will play if the in-play stats start telling me as much. And that's a good start from Auxerre as well, isn't it? So this could be something for telegrammers. 3 shots on. Good afternoon. Live stream is on at YouTube if you want to come along. I've already shown members who are attending how to play the Auxerre Seine match. I've laid over 1.5 goals here. I've gone into the match odds, backed Auxerre. Half stake, laid Seine, half stake is liability. If you want to see how that's done live, come to the live stream at YouTube. You've got all the details at footballtradingprofits.com. Don't forget, this is the last live stream for a couple of weeks now. Auxerre, top of the league. I'd prefer +1, but it's too skinny. Let's hope we can get a quick equaliser. Their in-play stats are looking brilliant at the moment. So watching brief for Wimbledon and for Wrexham. Let's see how we get on with those. English League 1, Reading against Cambridge. So pre-match odds on favourite. Looks like it is. That's pre-match Reading, pre-match favourite. How about Lincoln and Bristol Rovers? Who's the odds-on favourite here? Well, it looks like Lincoln, doesn't it? All the way down to 1.25. So we don't have an angle there. And again, the sound has gone here. It's only because I'm using the Yeti microphone. It just affects my computer's speaker. This did work a bit earlier on, so let's hope. Because it is needed. We do need to see these goals come in. And we need to check, because it's a good way to get a trading angle, isn't it? Mansfield 1-0 on live score, says Ashley. Harry Kane assist as well for Bayern. Mansfield 1-0, but I don't think Mansfield are odds on today, because they would have appeared on my list. Yeah, they're not odds on today, so I wouldn't have a real interest there unless the in-play stats tell me otherwise. And it's 0-2 already for Mansfield away at Bradford. We can get rid of Malmo now. Obviously, warming up nicely pre-Allsvenskan season for them. And Auxerre are looking pretty rosy, aren't they? 3 shots on, 6 off and 8 corners. You could do with a goal before the 60th minute, though, because we've gone into the match odds market. Monza, I think we can get rid of that now. I was hoping for a Cagliari opening goal, because Monza don't concede 2 goals at home. And we've got a Wolfsburg red card. You know as well as I do, they don't half love a score draw, the Wolf. And now they're leading with a red card. This could be something for Augsburg to sniff. I will need to see Augsburg's in-play stats, though, because there's the Bayern lead before half-time. So it's there for you if you wanted it. 1-1, 1-2. Any unquoted in the half-time score market. As I say, I'm a bit fussy with value. It's still money. It's still a profit at the end of the day, and it's a rather obvious profit, isn't it, for Bayern Munich? This is what you expect of a 1.12 shot. Simple as that. So I hope you played in your own way, and if you did go 1-3, any other away score, you're only a goal away from the first of those being hit, and that's the biggest paying one at 5.8 when it was 1-0. The other one was a measly, I think it was 3.5 or something. So you can play it if you want. Well done to Bayern Munich. So we can get rid of that. That's exactly what we expect, isn't it? So let's go through. I'm not expecting anything really from Udinese today. Draw and a win recently. 2 goals against Lazio is very impressive indeed. Catching Lazio distracted by European club competition, I would suspect. They have scored and conceded in 3 of the last 4, Udinese. And we do know they love the old draw, don't they? But this Torino side, for me, even though I didn't research it heavily, have a really good defensive strength to them. So I wouldn't necessarily be laying Torino, and I think the market agrees with me there at 1.04. Very dismissive of any Wolfsburg, of any Udinese chance here. So I've got to check this whenever goals come in. Penalty for Mainz. Now that might open the door up for 2 goals, because this is a normally Mainz can't score that second goal from open play, but if they get the assist of a penalty, we might. There's the Augsburg goal, far too quick for me to have taken advantage of that, and as you can see, nothing showing in play stats wise to take advantage of that red. But we do know the Wolf love the old score draw, so what a pity. I should have just laid on that basis, shouldn't I? Because they were odds on leading 1-0, and you're getting pretty good value for that. Don't forget, there's more than one way to skin a cat. If you like what I'm saying, why not play? You don't have to idly just parrot fashion what I'm doing, because you're never going to learn to decide for yourself. I know a lot of you go off on your own tangents, go to your own markets that you prefer, which is excellent. And you could have done it on that occasion as well. And I suppose we could have had a bit of a tickle in the half-time market, keeping liability very low. Real Madrid have already scored against Osasuna. That's absolutely no surprise there at all. So let's pick up some odds on favourites. Relegation 6-pointer, Rotherham, Huddersfield. Boy, oh boy. Talk about nerves jangling in this one. Must take 3 points off your nearest rival. That is for sure. West Brom odds on today, so I'll just pick them up. And Mainz have scored via a penalty. Now, my theory about, well, it's not a theory, it's based on stats. They haven't scored that second goal in the last 15 matches, but the first goal was a penalty. So they might score another goal from open play, which would be their usual single goal, if that makes sense. But for those of you strictly following the Mainz don't score that second goal theory, you could lay them now. So I'll leave that up to you. We've got half time to have a think about it at least. We've got the luxury of half time. So I better put my odds on favourites up here, because they're not appearing, or that the auditory alert is not arriving here. As you can see, MK Dons equaliser already. I think that was one of them, wasn't it? Oh no, that was AFC Wimbledon. I'm getting it mixed up with the Dons for Vinnie Jones and all that. Okay, Ipswich Sheffield Wednesday 1-0. Barnsley odds on favourites today against Cheltenham. Hope you had a good Cheltenham if you played. Stevenage and Leyton Orient 1.95 pre-match favourites, so that's going to get on the watch list. I want to see a good reaction. Port Vale 23rd in the league, playing 8th placed Oxford United. Peterborough have a tough encounter today against top of the league Pompey. Normally do very well indeed, as you can see by that WWWW for Peterborough and Fergie's son. Northampton and Wickham and Northampton, Bradford and Mansfield. We get rid of that, I think. Or you can be a little mischievous. 2.6 the favourite. Why not lay them? Yes, they are top of the league. But why? Why 2.6 the favourite? Why 2.6 for top of the league? That's not suggesting a 0-3 lead, is it? So lay. It's 17 minutes in, for goodness sake. You're going to get very, very short odds indeed. And you've seen these things happen before. Osasuna have equalised against Real Madrid. Pre-international. Real Madrid. I couldn't have laid Real Madrid at all leading there. Bradford and Mansfield. Let's have a look. So where are we going here? Match odds should be very, very short indeed. Got to do it. Why 2.6 the favourite? Does the market know something that I don't? Well, why don't we just spend 2 or 3 quid to find out? So we've done it in the past. 2.6 the favourite, leading 2 or 3-0 very, very early. Why not lay them? So this is one I will pass on to Telegram. The liability is so low to make it not really worrisome if it doesn't come off. But we've got 70 minutes of the match left for a 2.6 the favourite. Bradford 0, Mansfield 3. Now, what interests me here, 2.6 the favourite match suggests, even though they're top of the league, Mansfield weren't expected to have a comfortable time of it, but they're leading 0-3. So I'm going to simply lay Mansfield at 1.06. You could back Bradford as well at 90s and 95s, just in case they do the miraculous recovery. It's going to cost you very, very little indeed. It's well worth doing with 70 minutes of the match to go. Why were they 2.6 the favourite pre-match? That's the question. We'll see whether the market was accurate later on. So I forgot to back. Don't forget to back the opponent down as well, because if they get the next goal before half time, those odds are going to plummet. And I can only do a quid at 95. That's perfectly reasonable. So we'll just carry on with our favourites. And we've got Barrow as well against Harrogate. Any others? Luton Nottingham Forest is a tough match to predict. A relegation 6-pointer again. So you've got to target that draw. And it reminds me that Bournemouth match you should have played. You must have played, surely. Lay Luton back Bournemouth 0-3 up at half time. Very, very rare opportunity to make an absolute bleep load of money for very low liability. I really hope you got stuck in that Bournemouth-Luton match. Burnley are leading Brentford 1-0. It's a tough match to call this, and I'm sorry I didn't get the alert on Football 24 to that goal. I wonder if it's been disallowed. It's a red card as well for Brentford, so we've got absolutely no interest there anymore. They have shot themselves in the foot. Union Berlin is 0-0 at half-time. I wonder if they're going to do as we expect when the market calls them right. They do tend to oblige. So I'll put them on the watch list. We did that last time, laid the draw last time. They did score to make it a 1-0 win. But we will see. Get rid of Bayern Munich, I think. It's job done there. Mainz and Bochum, just keep an eye out on that one. As I say, it might be an opportunity for Mainz to score 2 goals today, given the first goal was a gift of a penalty. So had that penalty not come in, it would be 0-0, of course, wouldn't it? Which would be in keeping with their inability to score 2 goals consistently enough. So we'll work our way down, just catching up on matches of potential interest. 2.15 the favourite there. Hearts, really enjoyed following Hearts this season. The best side outside of the Old Firm. Really good trading side as well recently. So I would welcome any Ross County goal today, opening goal for Ross County. I would very much welcome that. Osasuna Real Madrid, of course, if this is a draw a bit later on, we'd certainly lay that. Celtic against St Johnstone, usual 1.18. And is this going to be a 20-minute rule? Now, for me, Celtic have not been a side to rely upon. Bradford without a key striker on international duty. Caution required, says Clinton. Thank you very much for that, Clinton. Brentford red card against Burnley. Thank you very much. Hi, Andy. Nice to see you here. Mansfield pre-match with 2.6. So well spotted, Ashley. You're bang on the ball. Exactly along my lines of thinking. Spot on, Ashley. Well done. That's why we've laid Mansfield 0-3 up. Well, that goal's been disallowed, I believe. So I wouldn't take that to heart. Just got to check our odds-ons because I'm not getting alerted to them. And I've probably missed out on all this fun with MK Dons. So let me just catch up with the odds-ons. Monza, I don't expect Cagliari to trouble Monza, but one goal would be maximum if Cagliari were to score. Rijeka leading, the league leaders. 1.85 Mlada Boleslav. This might be of interest with Sigma Olomouc being red carded against a 1.85 shot at home. So let's just check that one out. Mlada Boleslav. Mlada Boleslav, Czech Republic. So let's just get that one up. There it is. So just want to see whether Mlada Boleslav's stats start increasing. Odds on favourite at home, away to 10 men. At home, sorry, to 10 men. So we will see what we will see there. Cagliari have got that goal, but they're unlikely to score that second, so says the seasonal stats. Desperate need for points for Cagliari as well, of course, but I wouldn't have laid Monza. I would have done it the opposite route. I would have laid any Cagliari lead, that's for sure. Let's look at the odds on favourites in the English Championship. It's 0-0 Middlesbrough. Their in-play stats are good. It's relegation 6-pointer for Rotherham and Huddersfield. And West Brom and Bristol City 1.8 favourite. No goals for Barnsley yet against Cheltenham. Lincoln, well, this is emphatic stuff for a 1.8 shot. Reading taking the lead as well, so no trading angle there. We know all about AFC and Wimbledon, and the Cagliari goal has been disallowed. We know about Wimbledon as well. And Wrexham, very strong odds on favourites, a goal down. So we need to look at the in-play stats for these lower tiers because I don't research the matches. And we're already there with Auxerre and Sen. We've got the 0-1 covered, which is good. Now we're getting into the kind of territory now where any Auxerre goal could result in a 1-1 and a £15 loss. That's why I much prefer the +1 markets. Because you don't get a loss then if it's a late equaliser. So do remember that. Risk and reward. If you're looking for a 75 quid profit on Auxerre and you're willing to take a £15 loss if it ends a draw, by all means fire away. So those are it. Let's have a look at SPL. 1.13 Celtic. Now they're past the 20-minute rule, but I wouldn't play Celtic, I'm afraid. They've let me down numerous times, failing to score before half-time. We're an ultra short-priced favourite. Hibernian, on the other hand, absolute dominant force. And Hearts, I would look at a positive performance from Hearts today. Let's hope the Ross County score first. Hearts have been excellent for trading this season. So that's the matches to look out for. Wrexham look like they're waking up, don't they? This is the kind of thing I was looking for. That's the kind of reaction you're looking for as a confirmer that the market's got them right. So let's have a look at Wrexham Tranmere. Third in the league, 68 attacking pressure index, 1 shot on 6 off 3 corners, 31 dangerous attacks. Let's have a look at Wrexham and Tranmere. Just got to get this up. So we've done that one. Well spotted by Ashley, that as well. There's something up with Mansfield today. That's why we're not putting them as strong favourite at all. Wrexham and Tranmere, as ever, I would cover that 0-1. Now, we might get the odd upset today in taking on these teams in the relegation zone, desperate need of points, okay? So do prepare that March and April. You're going to get some over-performances from strugglers. You can ask Southampton about that the other week. Laying over 1.5 goals covers that 0-1 for Tranmere. You're seeing it working so far in the Auxerre Sen match, don't you? You can just sit back. And what you can do with the Auxerre Seine match, I don't know if you can cash out for a break even because you've gone to the match. We'll come to that in a second. So I want to have a look at Wrexham +1. If it's reasonably high enough compared to 108, I will stop there. Particularly given the league, English League 2. Now that's telling you to go into the match odds, isn't it? So we're not getting much out of this today. So I have to go match odds. I've got no choice. Unless you fancy 1.48 and you just collect green screens like that. The great thing about the +1, it covers the draw. If you go match odds, you'll have a loss on the draw. Okay, so you'd be backing Wrexham at far better odds than you've got pre-match. Laying Tranmere far lower odds than you'd have got pre-match. And let's hope that third in the league, and let's hope that the market get it right, because the in-play stats are suggesting that the market will get it right. And as you can see, the £40. Oh, how about this for timing? Mystic Meg, is this a 1-1? Is this my Mystic Meg 1-1 moment? No, it's a false alarm. So as you can see, laying over 1.5 goals with the stake you want to use. In my case, £40 minus liability. Okay? We've got that 0-1 covered now. So we put all of that 40 quid as a loss on Tranmere by half stake backing Wrexham, half stake as liability laying Tranmere. That leaves us as ever with a loss on the draw. So we're in that kind of position with Auxerre as well. You're going to be making a £13 loss if this ends 1-1, very, very late 1-1 equaliser. So that's the problem we're flirting with when going into the match odds market. When you go match odds, you do need that goal to come pretty sharpish, preferably before half time. So I'll just check, see if there's any comments. Real Madrid scored, says Mr. Kaz. Indeed, did you get involved, Mr. Kaz? I don't know the angle here. It could have been half-time market, but very little value to be had because Real Madrid did score the first goal. Osasuna equalised, and then
this market has been suspended.
How on earth do we get any value out of that? Unless we go half-time market, 1-2, any other away score. So those are options there. So if you played Mr. Kaz, well done. And we've got the equaliser for Seine. Now this is going to be interesting because it's 15 minutes to the end of the match. Now is that enough time for the market to expect Auxerre, top of the league, to get that profit? This is why you see I love this +1 market, because you'd have a near 100% profit there. But now, well, that's all right. You've got a £10 loss here. You might have to just take the green because the goal has come far too late. Or if you're happy to take that £10 loss, and you could see if we can get rid of all of this liability, but the draw liability is going to be far too high. But at least get rid of that Seine liability. Now this is where the variable profit tool comes in very, very handy, because you can keep the profits. No, you can't. Sorry, my mistake. You can see how much it costs. That's better, to get rid of that liability. And is it worth it? What you can do as well with the draw, you can see how much it will cost to get rid of the draw. And that really wipes it all the way down to 53 quid, doesn't it? So are you happy with that? Don't forget there's multiple options to exit. And as I've said multiple times as well, we're having a good day today. We've had some really good trades before. So if you want to take just a small profit here of 6 quid net, that's 6% of 100, which is our target, isn't it, per session? So it doesn't sound much, but relative to £100, it's 6.5%, which is pretty decent if you're looking to get 100% out of your trading session. Or you could break even, take the £10 hit on the insurance, tell yourself there's 15 minutes to go for top of the league, to get the winner. Now, this hasn't been matched, alas, on the draw. So I need to get in again. Well, a bit of it did get matched, but I have to get in again. Draw and Sen. I don't want to see a profit on Sen, but let's get rid of this. There we go. That'll do. So hopefully that'll get matched. There we go. That looks okay to me. Top of the league, if they can get the win, we'll make 48 quid. If the match ends in a draw, we will lose £11.67. 67 pence. Why £11? Because don't forget you've taken out insurance, which you've lost. That's an insurance premium you have to pay. So I'm happy with that configuration there. Particularly with the amount of time left. And the fact that Auxerre are top of the league. And the fact that they're at home. Okay. And the fact that 72 attacking pressure index. 15 shots, 10 corners. It's pretty compelling stuff. But the clock is not our friend, alas. So take that off the watch list now. We've got the equaliser we were seeking. And another draw avoided for Udinese, but not the way they want to avoid draws, i.e. by winning. In this case, they're going to avoid the draw by losing. Oh dear. Union Berlin, second half beginning. Can they do what they did last time they were favourite and won 1-0? Score a second half goal. 24 dangerous attacks to 9. I'm not going to lay the draw just yet. Only the one shot on target, 2 off. It's very poor in-play stats. I wonder if Augsburg can take advantage, as they have done, I suppose, of that red card. Get rid of this score draw. They're on a run of 3 consecutive wins, which is fascinating to see. Against Heidenheim, Darmstadt and Freiburg. 2 of them coming at home as well. 2-2 draw against Leipzig as well is very good as for Augsburg. So possibility of this draw ending and the red card. If you do lay the draw, second half, with a red card involved and the team with 11 players scores, you're going to get the draw odds rising to about 10s or 11s. So it's a really good trade if you wanted to play that. And there's a unit. There we go. Look, Union Berlin 1-0. Call me Mystic Meg. This has happened throughout the season. Why did I come up with this idea? Well, let's have a look. And this is something we can bring into next season as well. I was asking myself, looking at the form or the lack of form. Let me show you Union Berlin's season. Now, you see all of this, right? Now, why all of a sudden, with all of that appalling football, are they favourite here, favourite here, favourite here? Why? No coincidence, the market knew. Favourite here. And this is what I was alluding to. Second half goal. Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh, Sherlock Holmes getting the goal there for Union Berlin. And Danilo Deco before half time there. That was a pity because I remember that match. We were going to do the same technique, laying the draw second half, because the market has spoken in favour of Union Berlin yet again. So that's something to look at for next season. If you've got a side with a block of losses who are suddenly inserted as favourite, you have to ask yourself why. Market must be confident. And that's the only research I did today, wasn't it, on that? Yes! Bonjour, Rodders. Bonjour. A bonnet de douche. A bonnet de douche. Lovely jubbly. 2-0 already for Union Berlin. 2-1 for Auxerre. Fantastic. Top of the league. Now we're going to make a net profit.
Union Berlin Werder Bremen is 1-0.
We're going to make a net profit of 38. Well, Celtic have turned up today, but I think I've done 2 or 3 matches this season. We've done 2 or 3 matches this season where Celtic at very short odds have not scored before half-time. So I personally wouldn't have done that myself. But I know those of you do follow this implicitly, the 20-minute rule, and you'd have been rewarded. It's a 1-0 to Celtic in the 40th minute, 2-0 to Union Berlin. So the market gets them absolutely spot on yet again. Isn't it amazing, eh? So it's a nice little strategy for you to look at next season. When you've got a side with a clump of defeats in a row suddenly inserted as favourite, you have to ask yourself why. The market knows something. And have faith in the market and you'll be amply rewarded with Union Berlin, as you see there. Well, good work for Auxerre. I'm going to take the profit. It's a net profit of 32 quid. It's 42 minus the £10 insurance. That's excellent play from Auxerre. That's why they're top of the league. I'm not sure we'll get the full cash out here. I don't want to get a late equal. There we go. That'll do me. Perfect. Great stuff. I hope you got involved. Yeah, well done. Mlada Boleslav as well, says Mr. Kaz. I hope you laid the draw there, Mr. Kaz. Luton is down as well, so thank you very much. I didn't get the alert for the Luton goal, so thank you for that. I don't Exeter, Burton Albion. I don't know why I didn't get alerted. Let's just make sure I've got the Premier League on. No, I don't, because I used to watch the matches on a buffered feed. So thank you for that, Mr. Kaz. And I'm just going to make sure I've got all of my others on Football 24 that I need up. Because on Football 24 you can choose your leagues. So you can get rid of all of the, like the Brazilian leagues and all that. And make sure you're stuck with the leagues of interest. So thank you, Mr. Kaz, for that update. It's not a match I'm keen to play. It's a relegation 6-pointer, isn't it? But there is a very strong both teams to score bias, isn't there, with this Luton side and with Nottingham Forest under Nuno Espirito Santo. Very, very strong pattern of both teams to score. I'm getting to the end of, you can hear the goals coming in. I just want to make sure I've got all my leagues of interest ticked. I'm not going to play the women's South Korean league, I don't think, not today. Yeah. Polish Ekstraklasa, yeah, that's fine.
Union Berlin Werder Bremen is 2-0.
So we're a bit slow today on In-Play Guru, so do please note that. So just getting to the T's now. And that's it. So I've got all of my Football 24 leagues of importance. It's a Nottingham Forest lead against Luton. It might be Ross County scores first. Thank you very much, Andy. So that's a possible, given the fact that Hearts have been so good. And I don't know, there we go, it's just come up now, the Ross County goal. I think that Hearts are a very good trading side. Trusted them this season, and they have done the business. I wouldn't have trusted Celtic. I can get rid of that now. But you can see the value of that 20-minute rule, can't you? It's coming with Celtic just there. That's what we expect. We expect goals before half-time. So if you don't get one after 20 minutes, that's where you create a little bit of value. I hope Mr. Kaz got involved with that late the draw there with Mlada Boleslav against the 10 men. Well done if you did, Mr. Kaz. We can get rid of that. Rijeka coming to the end of the match. And Union Berlin, job done already. I don't think they're layable against Werder Bremen. Relegation 6-pointer. Huddersfield favoured on the in-play stats at the moment. West Brom odds on favourite pre-match. No shots on target yet. Sheffield Ipswich United putting Sheffield Wednesday back in English League One, I think. We can get rid of that one. Barnsley 0-0, but looking good. If this is 0-0 at half-time, possibilities of a goal second half on this basis. 3 shots on 9 off and 5 corners for Barnsley. Middlesbrough and Blackburn. Sorry, this is in the way. There we go. Middlesbrough odds on favourite. Very good defensive side. 3 consecutive wins under I think it's still Michael Carrick, is it? 2 shots on 6 off 6 corners. I will have to check the second half scoring record for these 4 sides here at half time. Stevenage and Leyton Orient, 1.95. Stevenage a goal down. Did have a goal disallowed, didn't they? So we've got a possibility here. It is a top 10 clash, which is a negative. It's very tight. Very tight on the dangerous attacks and very tight on the in-play stats. So I wouldn't necessarily be taking on Leyton Orient just yet. If we can last until half time, then we've got 15 minutes to decide whether to play or not. Are you happy with AFC Wimbledon's reaction to the Newport County goal? I am. 3 shots on 5 off and 2 corners, 1.67 pre-match, 1.57. Let's see if we can have a go at this one. Wimbledon and Newport County. Mansfield make it 0-4, but there we go. I've lost about £5 there. Newport County got us a nice 25-1 or thereabouts when Forest Green were leading 2-0, or was it 3-0? Fantastic result, that one. So let's have a look here. Newport County and AFC Wimbledon. As ever, I would lay over 1.5 goals. I must say I'm a bit squeamish about English League 2. So both teams to score no would have been a better outcome, I suppose. Getting involved right when the goal arrives, because it's far too... Both teams to score no, it's far too low now to back. So laying over 1.5 goals covers that scoreline, that 0-1 for Newport County. Wimbledon stats, that's all we've got to rely on. And the pre-match odds, and the market says they're very strong favourites at 1.57. So let's just see what the +1 is like for AFC Wimbledon. Is it decently priced compared to 1.24? I would say it's about 1.7, yeah. So it's a bit skinny. But this is the route. If you want to go this route, this covers the draw. Or you go match odds. With match odds, you split your stake. Half stake to back AFC Wimbledon, but then you're only giving them a half to get the win. So it's very pressured. And Augsburg make it 1-2 already.
Bristol City is 1-0.
So Augsburg taking advantage of that red card. What a pity that they got their goal before half time. It would have been good to have possibly taken on Wolfsburg second half. Luton Nottingham Forest is 1-1 at half time, and Bochum make it 1-1. So taking on Mainz again when they're leading would have rewarded you, but my concern with that was it was a penalty, so they could still be open to a goal from open play. Celtic make it 2-0 before half time. So those of you who went 1-0, 2-0, any unquoted in the half-time score market, you'd have picked up something like a 6-7-1 return there. So I should have really had a bit of a tickle, given this is the last live stream for a couple of weeks. So that would have been rather nice, wouldn't it? 3 out of 3 before half-time goals. The Bochum goal has been disallowed, but that gives us an opportunity to look at the in-play stats and see whether this Mainz are gettable, given that Bochum have just had a goal scrubbed off. I'm going to be laying AFC Wimbledon, although I prefer, as I say, the +1, particularly in English League 2. Bit of a dodge pot league. Lay the team leading, half stake as liability to make sure you've got the 40 quid loss on Newport County. That's covered currently by the laying of over 1.5 goals. Okay, so you can sit back now and just hope that they do an Auxerre AFC Wimbledon, because that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? I like what I've seen from there. This is what I do with these lower tier leagues. Just wait to see the reaction, and it's a really good reaction from Wrexham, really good reaction from Wimbledon, and the advantage that we have as well, they're both at home and they're both on the cusp of a half-time team talk. So they're going to get a bit of a hairdryer treatment at half-time. Don't forget, lads, you're at home. You're in front of home support. Especially for AFC Wimbledon. Got to get the points for the automatic playoff or the playoff places. Similar story for Wrexham, third in the league. They'll be vying for automatic promotion. Get rid of the Real Madrid match. Well, get rid of that now. Taking advantage of the red card, but I missed the trade because it came before half time and we didn't have stats to look at. So very good reaction there. Disallowed Bochum. Thank you very much, Andy. That reminds us, doesn't it, Andy, to have a quick look at Mainz. Just to see what Bochum's in-play stats are like. And we've got 100 for Heidenheim. Possibility of Heidenheim equalising, based purely on the in-play stats. So let's get involved there, based purely on in-play stats, because this is 2.5 the favourite pre-match. This could as easily be 0-2 as 1-1, okay? But if you're taken by this, have a go. Let's have a look. Heidenheim, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Heidenheim are having a good season, so they're very capable of getting an equaliser. Laying over 1.5 goals is going to cost you a bit more because it's pretty late in the match. 1.48, so it cost you about 20 quid. But you're going to be compensated by the odds for the +1 for Heidenheim. So laying over 1.5 goals. In this case, it's backer's stake. You're looking to win 40 quid, not lose 40 quid. So you're laying over 1.5 goals. Then I suspect Heidenheim +1 will compensate for this, be about 2.4 or higher. How about that? 2.68. So you put your 40 quid on that. It would normally be £39.20, £40 minus liability, but £40 just for the sake of the live stream. Just makes it easier for you to follow. You're going to get far greater rewarded now, but you're going to make a far bigger loss if this becomes 0-2. Don't forget it's 2.6 the favourite for a reason. The market couldn't split these two. But we've got the attacking pressure index. Now, another way for you to limit your liability is to just go to the match odds market. Lay Mönchengladbach at 1.54, small back of Heidenheim at 11, or even just back at Heidenheim at 11s. So that reduces your liability quite considerably, doesn't it? So that's something I will pass on. FC Heidenheim v Mönchengladbach in the German Bundesliga. It's 0-1 to Mönchengladbach. You can go into the match odds if you fancy it. Lay Mönchengladbach at 1.55. Don't forget a small back of Heidenheim at 11s. We're basing this purely on the in-play stats. Heidenheim reaction is very, very good indeed. But don't forget 2.6 the favourite match suggests it's a very tough match to call for the market makers. So that's an option, isn't it? Instead of my fangled insurance play where I put far too much money at risk, this option is far more appealing, isn't it? You'll keep your liability very low, particularly if you just back Heidenheim. Mainz, Klopp's old team, indeed. Old sparkly teeth. Maybe he'll go back to Mainz after his Liverpool career. He'll get them scoring more than one goal, that's for sure. So 1 shot on 10 off 7 corners for Heidenheim. Can they get that goal that we desire? Or at least keep Mönchengladbach from scoring a second? Bochum, no shots on 3 off and 5 corners. Why did they have a goal disallowed then if they've got no shots on target? If you wanted to lay Mainz, well, 1.25 is perfect odds. Perfect odds, isn't it? To just have a bit of fun. See whether they don't score that second goal. It was 2-2 the last time these two met. That's the negative.
This market has been suspended.
Well, Heidenheim. Let's see if this is a draw for Heidenheim. Waiting patiently for the ding. And there it is. There it is. Lovely jubbly. Now you're going to get a really good reward for taking the risk. on a 2.6 the favourite match, which we normally avoid like the plague. So what are you going to lose? Let's have a look. What are you going to make net profit? You're going to be losing £19.60 insurance premium. You're going to be winning £42.17 if you cash out now. So you make yourself a nice net profit there. I'm going to take that because it is a 2.6 the favourite match, and I was only after the odds movement from 0-1 to 1-1. Lovely stuff. Bang, off you go. Net profit. Good stuff. So I'll just make sure Telegrammers cash out. Please cash out of your Heidenheim +1 play. You're going to make a nice net profit there. Right, excellent work. Now, we're heading off to Mainz, weren't we? If their odds are short enough, they're layable enough. It was 2-2 the last head-to-head. Yes, it was a penalty for Mainz, so they might score a second goal, as I say, from open play. They're layable at these odds, aren't they? Make sure you keep it under a tenner. You don't want to get too crazily involved, because Bochum themselves have had that trouble scoring that second goal, haven't they? So laying at 1.29, small back of Bochum as well, just in case they score a very quick goal. And then we can sit back, knowing our maximum liability is not going to cost us too much. That hasn't been matched, the lay of Mainz, so I might have to go in again there. So just wait for this one to get matched. And lay Mainz again, 1.28. At least get a break even on the draw, there we go. So let's see what we will see here. So, yeah, 1.28, perfectly reasonable for a side with such a poor scoring record, but likely their odds are so short because, well, there's plenty of time to go. Wow. 1.8 favourite pre-match, but we know their 2-goal record, their lack of that second goal, don't we? So the market hasn't factored that in. So let's work our way down. We can get rid of this now. I think Augsburg have done the job. Greek Super League is, I think, is splitting now, isn't it, into the Championship and relegation groups. I'm not too sure. All hail to the Ale. One of my favourite sides, Hapoel Beersheva. Very, very good this season indeed. Any loss tends to be a single goal loss, which is perfect if you do insurance, isn't it? Like the last match. And that match, I think the Beer were red carded. So, excellent side. You get these each season, these sides that you just cling on to and follow because they're put in such a good set of stats and set of results. So work our way down. Anything else of interest as we're waiting for the second halves to begin? Red card for Liera against Maritimo, but Maritimo already leading. Hibernian, I think we can get rid of that. Odds on favourite. This is what we're after, isn't it? Ross County and Hearts. Let's have a look at the Hearts stats. 1 shot on 7 off and 5 goals. I'm going to take a risk because Hearts have not let me down. So, as I was saying to you, teams to latch onto. I'm going to take a risk here. They've just been so good as a trading side. So no reason to desert them just yet. Laying over 1.5 goals. 1.29. And then we're going to check the Hearts +1 first, of course. I would suspect that will be about 1.85, something like that. Or even higher. I'll take that. If it's higher than I expected, I'll stop off just at the +1. So you don't need to rush. Just wait for the. Well, you do need to rush because the second half is beginning. So let's have a look at the net profit. If £11.60 loss, possibility without cashing out £45 green. So that is another to pass on to Telegrammers, I think. It's a bit riskier, but I think Hearts have been a reliable unit this season. Ross County 1, Hearts 0. Hearts have been very reliable trading side this season. I've gone and laid over 1.5 goals and gone into the Hearts +1 match. Backed Hearts +1 at about 2.16. So pretty good odds. Have a go if you want. So let's see whether we can get that one in. See if we can make some good profit today and tomorrow before the international break. So second halves are beginning. And Mlada Boleslav red card late on, but those of you who laid the draw anyway would have been amply rewarded because the impact of the red card, the fact that the red carded side conceded to make it 2-1, the draw odds would have risen hugely. Strasbourg have scored first against Nantes. I don't have any strong angles on that one. Heidenheim and Mönchengladbach, job done. Delighted with that call. And all you've got to do is thank the in-play stats for that, because it's not a match I would have played ordinarily. Bochum Dano, can they get that goal? I'll take it off the watch list because it will come up on Football 24. Rotherham and Huddersfield, surely we're going to lay the late draw here. It's a must-win territory for these two. And again, if you look at the English Championship, at the live standings, and we're looking at the relegation threatened sides playing each other. So we work our way down. Was it Huddersfield and Rotherham? Let me just confirm that. Yes, it is Rotherham and Huddersfield. So I think Rotherham are looking down. Mainz have got that second goal. I did warn you. But having laid at very short odds, they got that second goal because the first goal was a gift. It was a penalty. So they're keeping their run going of not scoring that second goal, if you understand what I'm saying, because the first one was a gift from the ref. Rotherham are down. Let's face facts. Huddersfield must take advantage. And if Huddersfield can win, don't forget they've already got a point here. Add 2 to this, take them to 41. Zoom up to 18th or 19th. So really good stuff if Huddersfield can break through. The onus should be on Huddersfield to get a result here. Rotherham are one of those sides you've got to take points off. It's as simple as that. You've got to. They're down. They're done and dusted. So we're looking for a Hearts equaliser. I'm just relying on what Hearts have done this season, despite Ross County's better dangerous attacks and the stats being relatively equal. West Brom and Bristol City. Don't have a strong opinion here. Don't know why this is on the watch list. Barnsley and Cheltenham. Well, let's have a look at the English League One research. See whether these two have a good second half scoring record or otherwise. I put that back to odds on favourites. Otherwise we'll hear these whistles all day. There we go. So where was I? Barnsley and Cheltenham. Just want to check the research on this one. So Microsoft Edge, Soccer Stats, Barnsley and Cheltenham, English League One, Premier League, Championship, English League One, Barnsley and Cheltenham. We just want to see if there's a good proportion of goals second half, because we don't research these leagues, so we've got to research them in play. So looking at recent form, Barnsley have only had 2 defeats since the 25th of November. Quite outstanding. No 0-0s there at all. Excellent example to take on. But they normally have a goal before half-time, as you see. A huge proportion of matches. So this is an aberration from them at the moment. Cheltenham have had a 0-0 recently. That's a slight negative. They had a couple of 0-0s at half time. One of them ended 2-0 at full time. That was away from home as well. When did those goals come? 86th and 90th minute from Beryl. Beryl Lubaba. 3 losses in 4, conceding 2+ goals is a positive. Both teams have scored in the last 10 Barnsley home matches. That's emphatic if you want to take on that 0-0. 7 consecutive over 2.5 goal matches for Barnsley. Let's have a look. Well, the opponents just edge it on scoring first at home. 5th against 21st. This is probably why it's 0-0 at half time. Cheltenham desperate need for points. Absolute desperate. 2-0 loss last head-to-head. Really, Barnsley should be scoring 2+ goals, shouldn't they? As you can see there. But this is your archetypal relegation threatened side putting up some fierce resistance. But apart from the 0-0 against Pompey, Cheltenham have been pretty solid. Not solid, pretty rubbish, as you can see there. So there is possibilities. A few 1-0 defeats suggest, again, that defensive bent, trying desperately to cling on to a 0-0 and try to nick a 1-0. This is could tell us when goals will arrive. 23 out of 35 goals scored at home by Barnsley have come second half. So that's pretty good, isn't it? 58% of goals conceded by Cheltenham have come second half. This tells you everything. 2 0-0s at half time at home, none at full time. 8 0-0s at half time away, 1 at full time. Really good conversion rate there. That does suggest that that draw is going to be vulnerable today. So let's have a look at that one. Barnsley. I think that draw will be vulnerable. What I do for the draw, I lay to a full liability. And again, don't forget you can delay as well. That's the best way to create value, is to delay. You might miss out on the goal though. But if this is a little high for you, and it's £40 liability for me. So I will get involved. You can always lay that draw, as you know. And Ross County made it 2-0 against Hearts. So I'm hoping now, like that team earlier on, I have to use my new trading strategy, which is to go for a cup of tea
Ross County Hearts is 2-0.
when a side has conceded 2 goals. And then come back. This was a risk. This was based on their seasonal form, wasn't it, for Hearts? And what I've been noticing. But I did show you those dangerous attacks, didn't I? Ross County were dominating the dangerous attacks, which is the big negative there. So a 2-1 would get us out of jail at the very least. So we're hoping that Hearts will turn up. But this is what the in-play stats. I should have taken note, shouldn't I? Dangerous attacks. Far more from Ross County than from Hearts. Now, we could do what we did earlier on and top up and hope that Hearts turn up. So let's have a look at this one. Because it worked very well last time, topping up at 2-0 down. So short enough. And it's very, very early in the second half. Why were Hearts odds on favourites? Why are Hearts third in the league? They're the best of the rest. So having gone into the +1 market, this is the second go at 2-0. Don't forget to back Hearts at 20s. Now if they can make it 2-1, you can get out of your +1 with a very marginal loss. And an added bonus, you'll be making a profit in the match odds market as well. So this is just based on a hope that Hearts have done what they've been doing all season. We can have a look at the research, make sure I'm not hallucinating this. Hearts against Ross County. See, I haven't researched this match, so I don't know if Ross County are coming into this in a hot streak or anything, or if they're in desperate need of points. So you really should be researching. Well, they're in a really poor streak at the moment. But let's have a look. They've scored 2 goals against Hearts. They did concede 2 against Hibs. They led 2-0 here for Bruce Anderson to make it 2-2 for Livingston. So they do have a record of conceding after leading 2-0. Let's have a look. Hearts are coming off the back of a 2-0 win against Celtic. Surely that will be a huge booster for them. Look at this, Dundee United. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-3, 2-2. Sorry, 3-2. Job done. And again, they were 2-0 down to Dundee FC at half-time and came up with a win, 3-2. And even Yoda, as you can see there, from Star Wars, getting in on the action with an 86-minute winner. How about the last time they played Ross County? Ross County were leading 0-2. And guess what the final score was? 2-2. Who are they playing today? Ross County. So we live in hope, don't we? That Hearts will at least score a goal, and early enough to impact, particularly on the +1 market, to reduce the loss on that. Let's have a look at their scoring record away. It's not as compelling as the scoring record at home, I suggest.
Goals. AFC Wimbledon Newport County is 0-2.
So that's 0-2 there for Newport County. This is what I'm saying about flirting with the English League 2. We can get upsets like this. But I did my checks. The in-play stats were excellent for Wimbledon, weren't they? So this is a bit of a surprise. I don't know if it's a penalty or anything. 7 goals conceded in the last 15 minutes for Ross County. I would have preferred Hearts to be at home. Look at this, 16 out of 21 goals scored at home come second half. So we're waiting hopefully for a Hearts goal early enough to impact on the +1s. That's the Wimbledon Newport County match. So they're 1.57 pre-match, 0-2 down, 55 minutes. Dare we top up? Let's hope that Wrexham can bring it home. These are far more compelling stats here. 72 attacking pressure index, 2 shots on, 15 off and 6 corners. Hapoel Beersheva already dominating. So let's just go back where we were. Possibility of laying the draw here at some point with points required. The later we lay, of course, in Rotherham and Huddersfield, the lower the liability for us. We've just seen that second goal for Ross, but we do see that last time, the 2-2, 2-0 lead for Ross County, but Hearts may be worse at home, better at home, sorry. Just have a look at the goals. Were they from open play? Yeah, S. Murray from open play. Let's just hope that Hearts can get us at least a goal early enough to impact on the potential losses there. Barnsley, well, strong argument to lay the draw there unless 21st in the league Cheltenham perform like a relegation threatened side and really just try to aim for that point and try to nick a 0-1. Middlesbrough and Blackburn don't have a strong opinion there. Very tight match, as you can see. Stevenage did have a goal disallowed in the first half. The odds-on favourite at home. Again, lower tier league. 2 shots on, 3 off and 4 corners. We're just hoping that Wimbledon will score a goal. I just have to rely on the pre-match odds myself and the in-play stats, which were very solid first half, but then suddenly Newport County are getting a hell of a team talk. It looks like 1 shot on target second half, 1 goal, 2 shots off target second half. So they really went at them right at the beginning. Let's hope that Wimbledon can get us at least a goal out of this. Barrow and Harrogate don't have a strong opinion. Only the 1 shot on target so far. Wrexham, we've got the insurance covered here so far. And again, hopefully this is compelling enough to suggest we'll get an equaliser from 3rd in the league, Wrexham. But don't forget, strugglers can overperform at this stage of the season. Let's have a look at some other matches. We work our way down. We'll get rid of Celtic now. Job done. Ports Authority. Real Madrid, get rid of them. Kilmarnock St Mirren. Any possible play? Well, 2.05 favourite. 0-2 down on or around half time. Let's have a look, see if the odds are short enough to have a look at that one. So that's Kilmarnock. We're not really playing our usual elite leagues, are we, today? That's the slight problem. English League 2, SPL, Danish First Division. Huddersfield red card, so bang goes that lay of the draw, I think. Do you trust Rotherham? I wouldn't trust Rotherham with stolen money. I think this is worth a punt. This is the equivalent of an underdog leading on or around half-time 0-2 away from home. So keep your liability low. Look at the odds for Kilmarnock. Huge. 2.05 pre-match. Why were they odds on favourite pre-match? Let's just test them out second half. They do have home advantage. And that's nice and low, isn't it? For the possibility of an excellent return if Kilmarnock can turn this around. Now again, this is a researchless match. I'm basing it purely on the pre-match odds. And the stats were okay for Kilmarnock, weren't they? Let's just see if we can find Kilmarnock again. It was a close enough match. 3 shots on, 4 off and a corner. 65. If we can get a goal before the hour mark, that would be absolutely brilliant. Top 5 clash. 2.05 pre-match. That's what I was pinning my hopes on. They did get a 2-2 recently and scored 2 goals at home against Aberdeen as well in their last home match. So we remain hopeful. St Mirren coming into this on the back of 2 wins in 3 matches, both scoring 2 goals, both at home. Don't tend to score that second goal at home. And all hail to the ale. Hapoel Beersheva scored before half-time. What a pity. Could have laid that draw second half. So some speculative plays today.
Hapoel Beersheva MS Ashton is 1-0.
Indeed. Okay. Blau-Weiss Linz, newly promoted, playing Lustenau. Let's keep an eye on that one. They are favoured. Altach against Austria Vienna, 2.6 the favourite. Don't fancy this one at all, so I'll get rid of that. Similar story, 2.55 the favourite. Ludogorets, well, look like they deserve their lead. Lokomotiv Hajduk Split, usual odds on favourites. We can have a look at that one. Sunderland and QPR, desperate need for points for QPR, so this could be another one to target the late lay of the draw.
It has been suspended.
Got a suspended market. So we'll see who that is. Birmingham and Watford. Yes. Fantastic stuff. Perfect. So this will compensate for the Hearts' losses. If you want to cash out now, or are you going to aim for £309.68? How about that? Wow. And I said before the hour mark, but I'll take the 61st minute. That's for sure. And now, if you're having a loss, I would recommend taking the green, okay? Got that Hearts loss and the Newport County loss, so I would always recommend taking the green because it will compensate more for the losses. This will take, if that's 24 quid, that's over 60% of one of the losses returned. So have a think about that, unless on the last live stream on Saturday for a couple of weeks you might want to aim for the 309 quid. So play it as you feel, okay? Weigh it up. Enough time left? You happy to take a 7 quid loss? You want to take that 23 and compensate for the losses on Wrexham and Hearts at the moment. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? Good result, that. Nice quick goal. quickly moves the odds, doesn't it, as well? So let's work our way through the ones which aren't on the watch list, see if we can spot anything of interest. Get rid of that one. SPL Motherwell Aberdeen, no opinion there. Okay. Nothing much doing. Well, the red carded side has conceded, so we can get rid of that match. Telling Serie B second halves. No strong opinions there. And coming to the end of the SPL, nice draw for Heidenheim. Suspended market. I would love a 2-2 for Kilmarnock. That would be rather nice. Come on, Kilmarnock. Or a 1-2 for Hearts, or a 1-2 for Wrexham would be very nice indeed. Luton and Nottingham Forest, do you fancy the both teams to score angle there? It is a relegation 6-pointer, and the thing, that's 1-5 to Bayern Munich. Okay, so that's fine. I don't have a strong opinion there either. It's very tough to call this Premier League match. Poor old Luton, 3-goal lead, dissipating last match. Absolutely gutting for them. Nottingham Forest looking dominant. 1.53 expected goals ratio, 6 shots on, 4 off and 2 corners. So we will see there. Premier League looks pretty tough today. Forest Green on a run of 2 consecutive wins in a relegation 6-pointer. 2.5 the favourite. I don't think I can trust Forest Green Rovers. They have been the side to lay this season. Well, we're not going to be getting that Bradford recovery, alas, so we can get rid of that one. Moving on. Peterborough and Portsmouth could as easily end 0-0. It's one of the tougher encounters for Portsmouth this season. At home against the league leaders, Pompey. Port Vale 2-0 down. Oh, they desperately need points, don't they? Similar story for Carlisle, but they're not showing it on the in-play stats, are they? And Cambridge desperately need points against Reading, but 2-0, 2-goal lead for Reading. And Burnley make it 2-0 against red-carded Brentford. I think had this been 11v11, this would be a both teams to score match, that's for sure. Exeter continue their excellent run, but they have been red-carded. So I will just watch that match with interest. Fleetwood 22nd in the league. Are they going to equalise? Can you trust them? We will see. We can get rid of Ipswich, absolutely taken Sheffield Wednesday apart. West Brom, similar story, I think, against Bristol City. Stoke and Norwich as well.
Goal. Kilmarnock ST Mirren is 2-2.
Yes! Now we're cooking on gas. That compensates for those losses. Now, are you greedy bar stewards going to be looking at £309.68, or are you going to be taking the 88 quid? That 88 quid will cover your losses for Hearts and will cover your losses for Wrexham. So I would recommend that port there. But, oh, it's tempting, isn't it? £309.68. Oh.
This market has been suspended.
How many Chang beers can I get for £309.68? What do you guys think? You going to stick or are you going to twist? What are you going to do? Wales 7, Italy 24, says Ashley in the rugby. Thank you very much for passing that on, Ashley. Sorry I didn't get to that quickly enough. But that could be a potential angle in, couldn't it? Take on the Italians. I'm going to take the green because I've got those losses. If I didn't have those losses, I would be holding out for £309.68. Don't forget, there's 70th, 80, 24 minutes left. 24 minutes for Killy at home, having scored 2 consecutive goals. to get a third. But you must play the session that you're in. You've got a current loss on Hearts. You've got a current loss on Wrexham. That £92 covers both of those. And you'll still come out of this session in profit. Okay? So play the session. Play the session, not the profit. Ordinarily, I'll be sniffing out that 300 quid any day of the week. What a fantastic result that is. Well done to Killy. I'm sorry, Ashley, I didn't get to that quickly enough. My apologies. What a great call from Ashley. I hope you picked it up, though. Look at this already. The response from the Welsh. If that's a Kilmarnock third goal, I'm going to have to mute the microphone because I will be swearing very, very loudly indeed. Thank you very much for passing that on, Ashley. And it's a great example that you can apply these principles to other matches or other sports as well. So let's just catch up. Now Oh, come on. Right, I'm going to have to mute the microphone now. This is 302 quid in the effing bag. 3-2 Kilmarnock. 3-2 Killy. Tell me you stayed in. Please. Yeah, I know, Ashley. I hope you guys stayed in. I really do. I really do. 302 effing pounds. Oh, man. That will get me a pad thai and a big bottle of Chang. And a little bit left over as well. Oh, my goodness. Please let me know if you stayed in. I hope both of you stayed in. This is what you watch out for. Pre-match odds. Pre-match odds. 56 minute 0-2 down is not the end of the world. Look at the pre-match odds. 2.05 favourite. Look at the in-play stats. Well, prior to this, action-packed response from Killy. Wow, what a half-time team talk there. This is what you look out for. 0-2 lead on or around half-time. You get extreme value, don't you? Oh. Now, if we can get a goal from Hearts, that will help matters hugely. 4 shots on 9 off 10 corners. Looking like they could. Looking like they could. Oh, what an amazing result for Killy. Well done, Kilmarnock. And, yeah, that mute. Thankfully, I don't have a cat because I would kick it. Don't tell Peter that, though. Oh, man. Oh, coming into the international break with the 302 quid in your back pocket. Wow. Breathtaking from Kilmarnock there. That's one of our strategies, by the way. Okay? Lay any side, any underdog, away from home especially, leading 0-2 on or around half-time. I put those words or around deliberately because we were at the 56th minute there, which is still close enough to half-time. And the stats were good for Killy as well, weren't they? Fantastic stuff from Kilmarnock. What a pity I cashed out. But I had to cash out because I'm holding losses on Hearts and I'm holding losses on Wrexham. Let's have a look if I can find them. That might be up here somewhere. Ross County and Hearts, yeah, we've got the loss there so far. Oh, in the +1. So as you can see, we've got that loss. A 1-2 will scrub this loss and bring it down to something like 12 quid. So Hearts are really putting some good stats, but they're running out of time in order to get us something. And I think the other one is Wrexham, isn't it? Or AFC Wimbledon? I'm not sure. Wrexham we've got covered. They're doing okay. We've got the insurance covered on that one. It's AFC Wimbledon, isn't it? So that's the other loss. That's why I had to get out. So I hope you understand that. No, even though that, as I say, if I was in a profitable... we might have a goal back, I hope,
This market has been suspended.
from AFC Wimbledon. Do we have a goal back? Looks like it could be 0-3 or a... No, this looks as if it was a false alarm. So that 92 quid now has covered this, and it's covered the Hearts loss. And we still have an opportunity in the Hearts match to come out with a profit. So good stuff. So I don't worry about this now. But this is where John H's both teams to score no comes in. Covers these 0-2s. It's a very, very good hedging facility, that 0-2, isn't it? Covers these 0-2s, and you wouldn't be screaming now at the losses. You would have them covered by your insurance. Oh, Kilmarnock. You bastards. 103 attacking pressure index for Hearts. Can we get that goal, please? To give the market enough time to think that Hearts can make it 2-2. That's what we want. Rotherham, I can't trust Rotherham to take advantage of a Huddersfield red card. So I won't be laying the late... Well, I would be laying the late draw, probably 1.2, 1.1 or lower. Sunderland QPR. The need is for Sunderland to get a result. So this, again, could be a 1.25 lay of the draw. Hearts doing exactly what I expect them to do. 12 corners, 11 dangerous attacks. 4 shots on... 11 shots off target, 4 shots on. 107 normally. 107 normally preempts a goal. So let's see if we're right. It would be excellent if we can get that goal. Yes, we have. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Now, that 92 is looking very nice. This should reduce the Hearts' losses. Now, Hearts have done this before. Come from 2-0 down to 2-2. 4-2 for Killer, you bastards.
Ross County Hearts is 2-1.
They are off my Christmas card list. Kilmarnock today. As you can see now, you won't be making an epic profit here, but this will reduce your loss on the +1 down from £30 to £11.68. So I'm much happier about that. You've still got a net loss. Oh, come on, let's make this 2-2. Come on. Is this catching? Is this Kilmarnock thing catching? I don't know. Let's see. Unless the goal's been scrubbed off. Oh, the suspense. Right, this could be a VAR. But as you can see, it's a very well-deserved Hearts goal. Everything lining up perfectly. 5 shots on, 11 off, 12 corners, 100 plus attacking pressure. And when you see that, it normally preempts a goal. So well done, Hearts. And as you can, you should be able to see that loss in the +1 market diminish markedly. But we need this to be unsuspended. So who's going on my Christmas card list in this Hearts match? Mr. Kingsley, old Ben. Gandhi getting the goal for Hearts. Fantastic stuff. Well, could do with it unsuspending. That would be very helpful indeed. So while we're waiting for the unsuspend, so we can actually do some manage our actual trades. I don't know what's happening here. 417 match. There's absolutely no market forces here, but it's a mystery why the match odds is suspended and the +1 is alive. So somebody's fallen asleep at the Betfair suspend desk, I think, unless there's a penalty or something. But we don't normally get commentary for the SPL matches. Nope. Okay. Right. Oh, come on. Disallowed. Oh. That would have reduced your loss to about 11 quid from 30. That's how important that goal is. Perfectly timed as well, 75th minute. Now you see the importance of that Kilmarnock profit, even though we would have more than amply compensated for it with that 300. So that's going to end up with 2-0. Fleetwood 22nd in the league, 12 shots off target, but they're still not showing enough really to suggest that they can salvage anything there. Barnsley and Cheltenham is uncomfortably quiet, and it's all down to being 21st in the league, isn't it? 4 shots on, 11 off and 6 corners. Keeping it as tight as possible. Middlesbrough and Blackburn, again, the match has changed. The odds-on favourites looked as if they were deserved odds-on favourites on first half stats, but you're looking on second half stats now, and Blackburn, yet again, desperate need for points, putting in an above par performance against the side vying for the promotion playoff places. This is what happens at this stage of the season. You're looking at Exeter leading 1-0 as well, having a brilliant run, getting themselves out of jail. Stevenage are still not convinced that they will get an equaliser here, even though they had a goal disallowed pre-match. They are 1.95 pre-match favourites. What a pity with Wimbledon. Very poor performance from them. But we've got that covered by the Kilmarnock wins. So that's fantastic.
It has been suspended.
Now hopefully that could be a Wimbledon, or it could be a Hearts goal, I'm hoping. Hearts are still, they own the second half here, but they're running out of time. They will remember coming from 2 goals down. And it's 5-2 for Killy, just to rub it in. Cheers, Killy. I suppose in hindsight we could have stayed in, couldn't we? 66th minute it was 2-2. That gives you 24 minutes for them to score yet another goal with real momentum coming into the second half. 2 consecutive goals. So had I said, as I say to you, had this been an ordinary profitable session, I'd have stayed in that Killy one for the sake of a £7 loss, for the sake of 320 odd quid profit. Yes, please, misses. Blackburn could get the upset here. Laying the draw a lot later though. I don't think I'll monitor Exeter anymore. I don't think I'll monitor Stevenage either. Well, this lot can go and bleep off. Trusting English League 2. But at least Wrexham are not losing 0-2. If you're getting a bit squeamish with Wrexham and Tranmere, don't forget you can always cash out of both markets to create for yourself an effective break even on the play. Hashtag split red card has just been taken advantage of by Lokomotiv Zagreb. And again, not really enough stats for me to pile in. So we can get rid of that one there. Don't think I'll be following that match now. Plymouth and Preston, no strong opinion. 2.3 the favourite, 0-1. No shots on target for Plymouth, who desperate need of points, of course. And Pompey have got a goal against Peterborough. What a pity for Posh. Normally excellent at home, but they are playing top of the league, Peterborough, today. Birmingham, desperate need for points. 4 shots on, 20 off, 6 corners. Let's have a look. I'm not convinced of a Birmingham equaliser. 1.92 though, expected goal ratio, so I'll just stick it on the watch list. Not going to cost anything. Derby scoring second half yet again. Vying. It's a top 3 clash. Top 3 clash, that one. So it would have been a bit tough to call. 2.38 the favourite indeed. So I don't think we need to follow that. Don't think we need to follow Exeter. Lincoln emphatic despite being red carded. Reading emphatic. We can hide that match. Let's focus on the matches. We can see we can pull off some good plays here. What a pity for Peterborough. 12 shots off target against the league leaders Pompey. They're league leaders for a reason, but Peterborough having an excellent season could go back up to the English Championship under Darren Ferguson. Accrington Stanley against Notts County. Must have brought Ian Rush on. Got the 2-2. Possibility of that Desmond ending, given this is, yet again, 15th against 17th. Two sides desperately needing that extra 2 points just to catapult them up the league a little. Let's work our way down. I'm still not convinced that Luton, at the moment, 3 shots on 5 off 3 corners. But you can score 3 goals away and then suddenly fall foul at home. Normally there's a very strong both teams to score angle for both Luton and Nottingham Forest. Now that might be exploitable by you now at 1.17 and lower if you fancied it. But as we can check the shots, 3 shots on target, only 1 second half. Very good. Nuno's obviously been working on that defence and he's targeted Luton Town today as a possible win. Burnley and Brentford, 2 sides in very poor form. This is priceless for Burnley. Let's have a look at the impact of this win. Unexpected win, all thanks to that red card. Let's have a look at the live standings for Burnley. Brentford are now in trouble. This was a must win for both sides. Must take points off your nearest market rival. Let's have a look. So they're all the way down here. Burnley, well, it's got a long, long way to go. 8-point difference to Everton, who have a game in hand. But these 3 points will give them some hope, I suppose. But Brentford are being brought into the relegation scrap. They are now only 5 points above. But thankfully, Luton are losing. So Nottingham Forest are doing Brentford a favour today. Luton, if they can get a draw, they'll be on 22 points. If they can get a win, they'll be on 24 points. And that, it's a must, isn't it? Really, the win. This is that. Can you see that it's going to be pivotal, that Bournemouth loss? Absolutely pivotal. 0-3 at half time. You bring on 10 defenders and you defend for dear life. That 0-3 lead should not be losing that. That would have got them up to 24 points prior to this match. So that Bournemouth loss probably cost Luton their place in the Premier League. We can hide this match here. Hide this one. Finnish Cup. French League don't have a strong opinion, I'm afraid. Asteros Tripolis, Greek League 7th against 13th. No thank you. No thanks. All hail to the Ale, getting their goal. So I'm going to dismiss them now. Pity they got it before half time, because they're very good for laying the second half draw at 0-0. Hapoel Beersheva. And St Johnstone have a goal back, but it's academic really. But as I say, 1.14 shot, 3-0, 3-1, any other home score. 3-0, 3-1. 3-1 is your big winner at about 20s. Kilmarnock, well, I'd better get rid of that, otherwise I'm going to jump off the top of a condo after this session. Oh man. Motherwell against Aberdeen. Well, Motherwell are making the noises to suggest an equaliser. Brentford have a goal back against Burnley. This is going to be heartache for Burnley if they cock this one up. They will be down if they cock this one up. Oh my goodness. I don't think they'll be able to recover. Brentford goal. Maybe it's a penalty. Motherwell. Good second half from them. Pre-match odds. 2.38 the favourite. Again, if you wanted a speculative lay of Aberdeen, by all means, they're on a run of 4 losses in 5. 2 consecutive wins for Motherwell as well. And both teams scoring, including against Rangers. Surely that kind of impetus should have got them across the line today. So we'll keep an eye on this with interest. I like these good late attacking pressure stuff, because it suggests they're still going for it. They're going for the jugular at home. So let's get rid of some of this lesser league. The reason I don't play the lower tiers in Scotland is I can't. It's illiquid. So that's the only real problem there. Illiquid markets. So we're looking okay. We're looking okay. You could lay Nottingham Forest late on based on the both teams to score angle and the need for points, like Fleetwood.
Fleetwood Town Charlton is 1-1.
Target has been suspended.
20th plus in the league, Fleetwood. MK Dons we can get rid of. Just want to see if there's anything late that we can exploit. Must wins, for example, Grimsby at 1-1, but it looks like Gillingham are the dominant force here. If these are second half stats, only 2 shots on target second half, 6 off and 2 corners. That's a good second half performance. I think come April we should make this a habit of laying these very, very late draws. But I suppose even now, 3 points, as you saw with Luton, if they got the win against Bournemouth, 3 points could possibly have saved their season. But now, oh boy, they should have also targeted a result against Nottingham Forest as well. Let's have a look through. What a pity for Peterborough. I feel sorry for them, but you're playing league leaders, and that's why they're league leaders. Portsmouth. So get rid of some of these. Right, so let's go back up to our watch list. Nothing doing from Luton, is there? Really good defensive display from Nottingham Forest today. Desperate need for a win. They've been playing Brighton, Liverpool, Man U and Aston Villa. Well, 3 of those. Was it top 5, top 6 team? Well, Man United near enough. And only just losing 1-0. So that gives us an indication that Nuno Espirito has turned on that defence since conceding 4 goals against Aston Villa. Worked on that defence and it's paying dividends today. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? The mic is working. So hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Yes, thank you very much, Ashley. My apologies there. I think one of the USB wires is starting to fray, so I'm going to have to get a new one. Thank you very much for the confirmation. I really hope one or two of you did lay Nottingham Forest later on, given the both teams to score angle. And Hearts have a goal back, but that's not going to impact on the +1, alas. We needed that 77th minute goal, as you can see there. You could bring back £7. Well, £9. Every little helps. Now, this is frustrating, isn't it? That 77th minute goal would have made it 2-1. Late goal makes it 2-2. That's what they've been doing all season. They've done it twice against Dundee. They've already done it against Ross. Oh, disappointing. But it's amply covered by that Kilmarnock win. So that's an added bonus there. So let's just clean this up. Come on, Hearts. Let's have some Fergie time. They do deserve this, you know. 7 shots on 15 off 15 corners. We're with the right team. We are with the right team here, but Ross County happened to score that second consecutive goal. So let's go through. Birmingham, well, putting in a really good effort to get the late winner, a late equaliser, 21st in the league, but likely the clock is not their friend today. Well done to Fleetwood Town getting an equaliser, 22nd in the league. Can they push on and get the win? Well, 1.25 suggests there's plenty of time left. Well, disappointing, Barnsley and Cheltenham. But Cheltenham will take the point, I suggest. And relegation threatened
this market has been suspended.
Zone. Accrington Stanley against Notts County, 15th against 7th. Desmond 2-2, but we're not seeing any late activity on the attacking pitch, like we're seeing here with Birmingham, for example. But likely we're going to run out of time. And it's confirmed, Kilmarnock 5, St Mirren 2. Wow, that could have been 300 sovs in the back pocket. Wrexham are still doing it, but we've got this covered by insurance. Now, you could do one of the great ideas from Paul Dunwoody. I'll show you. A possibility of, for a small loss, doubling your return. Cash out of your lay of under 1.5 goals. Now, if Wrexham score, oh, only works really in the +1, doesn't it? So my apologies, that wouldn't work. But we can break even, so I might as well take that.
This market has been suspended.
If Wrexham score, no, you'll still make a profit if Wrexham score, because you'll make a £10 loss on the draw and a £34 profit on under 1.5 goals. So it's worth doing. It's a great idea of Paul's, and it's come in on a couple of occasions. If you were doing it in the +1 market, it's a great way of doubling your profit for the sake of about a £5 loss. A really good risk reward, and a great idea of Paul's, and it's ideal for an opportunity like this one.
This market has been suspended.
Where you've got 3rd in the league, but this is likely the clock coming to an end. So we've only made the difference between £34 and £39. So we've only made a £5 loss there for the sake of winning a potential £24. Not too bad. Good idea that of Paul's. Looks like the clock has got Tranmere out of jail there. So that seems to be about that. I think Hearts is still going. I would really love that 2-2. They thoroughly deserve it. 21 shots, 15 corners. Majority of that action second half. Just unlucky to have conceded that second goal on the 49th minute. Really knocked the stuffing out of them. And for us to have a goal disallowed on the 77th minute as well. Just bad luck. So that looks to be about that. Let's have a look at what's upcoming. bit later on, particularly from an odds-on favourites perspective. We've got Hoffenheim and Stuttgart, very tough to call. Hoffenheim have beaten Dortmund recently, so we just don't know which Hoff turns up. Atletico Bilbao, well-deserved favourites at 8 o'clock, but I'll probably be well gone by then if you add another 7 hours to that. 3 a.m. that start time. Elsewhere, a bit later on, it's because it's the international break that it's a little quieter than usual. Coming up, Sligo Rovers 7:45, Slack Rocklaw at 7 o'clock, Braga normally very reliable, and
This
Porto
market
as
has
well
been suspended.
a bit later on.
This market has been suspended.
Lugano 7:30, so a lot of later kickoffs. I probably won't be around for. I will certainly be seeing you tomorrow for the last live stream for a couple of weeks now, and then it's just going to be getting very, very quiet, I'm afraid. There's nothing I can do about it. But as I say, what I'll do, I'll be posting an article a day on a specific subject or topic, just to give you a
This market has been
refresher
suspended.
during this international break. So Monday, probably we're going to see English League 2. No, we're not even seeing English League 2, so there's absolutely nothing doing on Monday. Apart from the Portuguese Segunda League. The Leinster Cup, maybe if it's got some familiar names from the Premier Division. Bray and St. Pat's are certainly familiar, but it's hardly mouth-watering football, is it? Looking on Tuesday the 19th. Women's Champion League, I won't be trading. Bradford against Notts County, I'll do the research for that for you. But all of this other football is lower tier stuff. It won't be covered on Betfair. So this is the problem we face. It's the no man's land between league football and international football. Wednesday's probably going to be similar story. So let's have a look there. San Marino and St. Kitts, of course, the match we've all been waiting for. I might do a live stream just for the San Marino St. Kitts match. Not. Again, quiet day. One day I'll get into the Brazilian football, particularly if it's on in the early evening. So this is why I'm saying this is a good time for you to be doing some relearning or refreshing all of the techniques, trading angles and stuff. Thursday we start getting very, very busy. 7:45 kickoffs. Very hard for me personally to research international matches. Unless there's a review provided here with a review at soccer24.com, I can put that through ChatGPT AI and give you an indicator of what these two websites expect. And they are excellent, these write-ups, absolutely world class. We've got the Asian World Cup qualifiers as well. So the only thing I can do as well is provide you with the FIFA World Rankings. UEFA Under 21s can be tradable. It's on during the afternoon as well. So that's the kind of thing we're facing for the next 2 weeks. Even into the 1st of April. We're going straight back into it now. 1st of April, bang. Wow. This is when it starts going crazy. I'm going to have to do a live stream or a live chat on the 1st of April on the Monday. Quite superb. So we're going to get very, very busy. April is the run-up to the end of the season. This is where your live standings here are going to be crucial. Absolutely crucial. These live standings show you what happens to teams as goals come in. So for example, Nantes would be keen to get a win, wouldn't they? Take them to 28 points. Zoom above Strasbourg. Strasbourg would like to get a win. Take them to 29 points. Put distance between them and particularly Metz and Clermont. Lorient have a relegation playoff place to look after or to get out of. These lot are far too thinly matched, aren't they? Far too close. So I'll do an article on that as well, how to use the live standings. And we're going to have an excellent April. We're going to be covering pretty much all of the leagues' end of seasons. We're talking League 2s as well. Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, Spanish La Liga 2, Spanish Primera, Italian, German, Portuguese, anything that has live standings, and we can see the permutations as the goals come in, and that is our trading angle for that particular day. No research needed. We've got to be purely reactive to goals coming in, and you'll be amazed how well it works. So thank you very much for coming along. I really do hope that you lot got on that Luton 1-1. I hope you did, Ashley, and I hope you got on Kilmarnock as well, because Kilmarnock was the saviour of those two errant plays. But we would have made some good money prior to those plays as well, with those pre-live chat plays. Thank you very much for coming along. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you for a live stream tomorrow for the last one